Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The strongest button. Why do I think that has something to do with Brie? Hello. 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 Hey everybody. Yeah, this is hello. How you doing today? How is everybody? How is everybody? Yeah, strongest button. I like that. Did anybody see the live last night? Anybody see Gypsy Ahoy with her best friend Brie? I'm not trying to be funny, but they definitely hang on a second. I'm doing a live right now. His his girlfriend's daughter. His girlfriend's daughter. I'm sorry. Hey. Wow, 26 people have nothing better to do than have coffee with me. I go to keep grabbing. I'm using a new mic. How's it sound? Is it coming out of both sides? Lifetime hates Gypsy Rose. You can't convince me. Really? Do you think Lifetime hates her? Because they're paying her. They're paying her. Guys, I just want you to know, for those that are triggered by marijuana, I am smoking. I am going to continue to smoke on this live. If it bothers you, take my face off. PJ Lee, how are you? Corinne, how are you? Susan, how are you? Carly. Guys, don't forget, those that want to watch the show and don't want to pay for it, Night Convos is showing it over on Rumble for free. Rumble is a free it's a free app. It's like YouTube, and you can watch the whole show there for free. Absolutely. Wake and bake. There you go. It's my only day off was yesterday. I'm working tonight at 11 o'clock. I got some things going on. When a few more join, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on. Light up with me. Come on, Karen. That's my name. One of my favorite people. I keep telling you. Her name is Karen. She should be calling any minute. Well, let's put it like this. If she calls around this time. Christine, thank you for bringing me into work. I have a bong, but I can't, it gets so dirty, and I just like the easiness. I've gotten to the point that I'm so lazy, I get pre-rolls now. This one I rolled myself, though. I rolled that one. I do know how to roll. It took me a long time, and I can't look at it. When I roll, I have to roll blind, Have you ever noticed that? Listen, seriously, when you guys, go into a dark room or your eyes are trying to, fix, and you got to reach for something, close your eyes. Seriously, don't rely on your eyes. You can't rely on them anyway. If you close your eyes, you will be able to maneuver and manipulate what you're trying to do a lot better with your eyes closed, because you can't use them anyway. So it's one less sense that you've got to take from. Maggie May, wake up, Maggie. Guys, seriously, how's this mic working? It's a different mic. I could prove it. See this mic? This is a great mic, but you guys tell me, Toddy, I can't hear you off of one side. That's okay. I'm still going to use that mic on occasion because it's an expensive mic, and, I like it. This mic is not so expensive. See? And the reason why I got this mic, just so you know, is because a lot of times when I'm at work, I want to use the YouTube. I want to go over a video, like I want to do a reaction video. And when I do a reaction video, you guys can see the video behind me, but I have to get on StreamYard to do that. And my handheld mics don't go to the computer, so I can't do those. I can't do those type of videos at work. I'm limited to either just riffing at work or me just talking to you and putting up videos, images, so that you could see. Where there's times at work, it's like, oh man, I really want to respond to that video. I want a reaction video. So I got this mic. It's a little bigger than I thought, but I'm not going to take I probably won't take the casing with it. I'll probably just bring the mic with me to work and do my response videos that way. But I'm asking if you guys like the mic. Does it sound good? Like, nobody's told me if it sounds good. It just says I can tell the difference. Karen, that's my name. Is it a good difference or a bad? Is it good or not? Is it a good? Yes, it sounds clear. It sounds good. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. It does sound better. It sounds better. This is a much cheaper mic. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? As long as it sounds better and it works and does what I need it to do. That's great. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you want me to tell you what's going on in my little world? So I will be moving because I can't handle living in the apartment. I can't deal with somebody over my fucking head. Pardon my language. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can't deal with somebody over my head. So, yeah. And I don't want to buy anything, and I don't want to really rent anything else because I want to save money, because in 3 years, like, I want to leave. I'm going to leave the area, whether I leave the country or not, that's the goal. But in the meantime, I don't know what I really want to do, except obviously I want my kids with me. There's no choice about that. They do. We go together like na 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 na. So I, where I live, I don't live in a rural area at all. But where I'm going today, it's about 20 minutes away west to the mountains and the reservoir. So it's a really nice area. Excuse me. It's a really nice area. And I have a friend that has, some land. So on their property. And it seems like if I were to buy like an RV or something like that, I could put it on the property. And I think I want to buy a really nice one and put it on the property for 3 years and just leave it there and have it, winterized, put skirting down and stuff like a trailer. And but they have these really nice ones now. So I think what I want to do, I'm going to go today to Camper World and see what they've got going. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy one and I'm going to put it on the property and live there for 3 years. There's already electric and stuff like that. And then when I retire, I'm going to decide, do I want to take this with me and this is going to be my home, and where am I going to go next? Is it, or am I going to leave the country and I'll sell it, because I figured it out financially. Financially, it is cheaper for me to buy that and put it on somebody's property than it is for me to continue to pay rent and everything in the apartment and have somebody over my head. It's driving me crazy. And not save as much money. If I do it the way that I'm thinking of doing it, I could save so much money each month, and I'm not having somebody over my head. And then in 3 years, if I even sold it for a half of what I got it for, or even a quarter of what I got it for, I still am saving money. I'm saving about, so if I paid rent and you add all that together, it's like it's $4,000 or $5,000 more if I were just to stay here in the apartment. If I were to move there, it's about $5,000 cheaper. And then it even is cheaper if I sell it when I leave. If I take it with me, it's my home somewhere else. I like compact things. I want simplicity in my life. I want to travel. So if I'm not going to leave the United States, I'm going to travel. So this would be the thing that I would travel with, but it's kind of bigger than the thing that I guess I would want to travel with. It's more of it's bigger. So you would take it on a piece of property and you would leave it there more or less for a few years and then go ahead and do that again and again and again. So That's the way that I'm going with it. I've been to Alaska. Yeah. Well, right now I have two dogs, and I do want to stay where in the area I'm at because I want to retire. I'm going to be 62 next month. Hint, hint. I'm going to be 62 next month. I want to retire in 3 years. I'm taking a different position at work. Um, I think I'm taking a different position at work, which should go into effect, I want to say, in June. So yeah, I like the tiny houses too, but I don't want to have I don't want to have I, I don't want to buy anything, especially if I don't know if I'm going to stay in the area. So I don't want to do that. Milk, Honey, and Mayhem, how you doing? How you doing? So, this is my coffee, right? So that's the plan, and I like there's a mobile home, not a mobile home, an RV that I'm looking at called Residence. It's called the Residence. It's got two lofts because my dogs they need room to. I have to be able to throw a ball and have them run a little bit. We can't always go outside because sometimes the weather doesn't permit. I don't want them to be like stuck on a bed or something like that. I want them to, you know, be able to play on the floor if they want to. Because sometimes, Danny will grab a toy and start, and Milo will too. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. And then I won't even have a vehicle to tow it to the place that I'm moving to. I'm going to pay them to bring it there. And then when I go to move, I might hire a company to take it where I'm going to move to, or I'm going to sell it. So, but I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. I used to live in Virginia. I used to work at the Arlington County Jail. Well, the fifth wheel, I would have to buy a truck that would accommodate a fifth wheel. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I want to do that, or it'd be the same situation. I don't know. I want to see what's available. I want to see what's available. Maybe there's something else I'll see that I like, you know. Very close. Yeah, Northern Virginia. Yep. What's a fifth wheel? Those are those trailers that have the overhang that goes into the bed of the truck. They're not the truck trailers that go in just one piece that goes on the truck, and that's not it. There you go. Transport companies now they do. I'm talking about 3 years from now. I'm hoping the company I buy it from actually takes it 5 miles down the road for me for free. I'm hoping that they do that. We'll see. We'll see. Southwest Virginia. Southwest Virginia. It's cold out here. It's cold out here today. How is it where you guys are? Is anybody where that bad weather is in Kentucky besides Fancy and Ryan? Let's see. I'm pretty much, sorry about that, Silvana. So yeah, I don't know. We got snow again here. It sprinkled a little snow here too. Waynesboro, Virginia. I know where that is. Anything you guys want to talk about? Did anybody see the show last night? What show, you may ask? You know that show about that mommy murderer? Nova Scotia, does it never not snow there? In Minnesota, 16 degrees. I think it's 34 degrees today. It's nothing that I'm looking forward to. NOLA, it's 57 degrees in New Orleans. No lie. (16 degrees Celsius). So that's pretty warm. That's a warm day in the UK. 16 degrees Celsius. Richmond, Virginia, raining, boo. 42 degrees in Houston. Edie. That's nice. It snowed in Ohio. So, guys, you guys want to talk about anything? The show is boring. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to watch it tonight. I got a video that I'm putting out that's taking me a minute because of everything that's gone on. But the video I worked on with Becca Scoops and Resident Midnight and Mrs. Fancy Pants. So I have a few videos to put out. There's going to be a couple parts at least to that. I'm hoping to have that out by tomorrow morning. I saw Brie, and to be honest, a part of me was happy for her to be on the show because Monday Morning Monster, welcome. Does that mean that you just became a member? Milk, Honey, and Mayhem, you need your glasses. Be right back. Okay. Sandusky, Ohio. Okay. Oh, Rosalind, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you know anything about 90 Day Fiance? Do you know anything about Mohammed and what's her name? I love that show. You guys know. I'm glad that Bree. First of all, Bree's going to get some views for that, so that's good. That's a good thing because people kept asking, "Who's that? Who's that?" And then I guess Gypsy introduced who she was. It also, listen, I don't think Gypsy cares about Bree. That doesn't change. That's not going to change for me because it's use, abuse, and discard with Gypsy. But it validates that Bree feels like there's a friendship there. Does that make sense? And I'm not bashing Bree. And this isn't about bashing Bree. Again, to be honest, a part of me thought, good for Bree to be on the show. Good for her because she has been a loyal friend to Gypsy, whether right, wrong, different, anything. On that act alone, her loyalty towards Gypsy, 100%. 100%. I mean, it's too bad that that's not towards something that's more positive or, maybe fighting for justice for Maddie Sodto. I think she's taken that that trait, whether it be good, bad, and different, and has used it for the wrong cause because I think Gypsy, as you know, is a horrible person. I wonder if you'd enjoy watching Married at First Sight. I don't know, and to be honest with you, I know that Brie will be discarded. But and I'll tell my dogs, you said hello, Diet Pepsi drinker. I forgot what I was saying up there. I have so much shows. I have so many shows to watch that I really can't afford to watch another friggin' show. You know what I mean? Like I watch all of the 90 Day stuff. I love it. I even watch the YouTube videos on 90 Day by Arthur and Your Wet Sock. And I think Marky, isn't it? And then the guy with the ginger and he's got a little beard and stuff. Like, so I watch all the 90 Day stuff. So I don't have a lot of and I've committed to watching at least one scripted drama or one scripted show, I should say. It doesn't have to be drama. So, it might, you're absolutely right, Karen. It might backfire. She might get a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of exposure, let it go to her head, and Brie might be all that dangerous. I hope I'm not bringing up anything bad, but where is Holly Jolly? Holly Jolly is at home probably, and she has some personal stuff going on that I'm not at liberty to share, but I did just speak to her yesterday, and hopefully everything's going to be all right. But she just has some personal I can't share her personal stuff. So she got a shirt though. She got a black shirt. Did you guys see the merch? She got a black shirt. We're trying to put up other stuff too. I will make sure that I tell her that she's missed. Bree will probably turn on her and spill some tea when they fall out. We'll see what happens to that. I haven't even thought about that. I just thought about Gypsy discarding her. Bree was very self-conscious. I saw that. Yeah, she was self-conscious, but you know. Yeah, I just I'm not really at liberty to talk about what's going on in her world, in Holly Jolly's world. So let me clear something up here. I'm not taking anybody to court. So I'm not taking Bree to court. In order for me to, well, okay, wait a minute. I don't want to say that. If Bree goes to court, it's going to be on criminal charges. The criminal charges that not just me, but other content creators and some of you guys, that she had doxed and was abusive to and harassed and stalked and all that shit. Those are criminal charges. I went to a lawyer and I had something done. It was a letter. It was a letter that basically said, this is what you're doing. We see what you're doing. Stop doing it, or there will be charges to follow. She didn't stop what she was doing. She's an idiot. She said that the letter was Chat GPT, but yet she called. I know she called the lawyer because my lawyer called me and told me how rude and shit she was. And does it surprise you? So why would you be rude to somebody who could do something to you, who really has the capability of having charges go towards you by doing paperwork? Just the paperwork alone that most people would pay a lot of money for. You pissed off a lawyer that's going to do the paperwork for free, dumbass. That's Bree. That's Bree who doesn't fucking think. That's Bree who doesn't think. So I did what I needed to do to start the ball rolling on criminal charges. And the criminal charges are going to be up to the FBI, a certain group within law enforcement that takes care of cyber stalking, cyber bullying, and such like that. So she was never served by me. She used the word served. I went with the word served, but I don't even think it was a cease and desist, to be honest with you. It was strictly for documentation so that I could go ahead and file criminal charges. That's what it was for. I had to have documentation. So, yeah. So that's what's up with that. Exactly. It was a start to a case. Exactly. The fact that, first of all, she said there wasn't a lawyer involved, that everything was chat GPT. But then I guess she called the lawyer. I know she did, and realized it wasn't. Then she called the lawyer a trademark lawyer. Like, I'm sorry that she's an idiot and doesn't understand that people with general law degrees can handle pretty much anything, right? So my lawyer, who was, I don't want to get into people's age, people's personal life or anything like that. She was a full-fledged, 100% lived to be a lawyer, lived, breathed, dreamed, everything, law. Years have gone by, her life has changed, and she decided this isn't the forefront that she wants anymore. So she went into a niche so that she could continue with her law degree, but not be as busy and not have the dramatics, unless they come from me. So she went into a different field because that's where she would like to retire, in that field, though she's got a lot more time to retire than me. So people are confused about cyber harassment lawsuits. Criminal charges is not a civil matter. People said I made up a lawsuit when I said harassment claim. It's like people don't use their ears. Yeah, so it's totally, it wasn't a Chat GPT lawyer, Apple Charlotte. I would understand your accent without you trying to make it more American. I love that, Scott. As long as you're not from Glasgow, because Glasgow I don't understand. Every other part of your country I can understand, but Glasgow is something I don't. Don't be sorry. What the heck? That you're saying? I agree. You're just saying the different cases and how that happens. And so yeah, I wasn't taking it as something more or less that I did. It's just how you have to do things, unfortunately. You know, it's too bad, but you actually have to spend money to get a lawsuit on somebody, or not a lawsuit, but to get a criminal case started. In this case, that was what I had to do. I went ahead and I did it. Um anyway, so that's what's going on with me in my little world. There's 145 of you guys and 51 thumbs up. Can I get more? Please, it doesn't cost anything. I'm sorry, I won't speak again. Apparently, I don't know. What are you talking about? Oh, guys, please be nice to each other, in the chat. I can't understand the Welsh accent. I like the Welsh accent too, but she's Scottish. I like how they say murder. Hi, Toddy. I hope your morning is California. Hello. Oh, about Trixie Lane. I'm sorry about what Trixie Lane did on your own channel. She didn't do anything on my channel. Trixie didn't do anything on my channel. I still talk to Trixie. On the Edinburghs. I love Edinburgh. I know, isn't that's the truth? The Edinburghs and the Glaswegians there, yeah. But I think that the Edinburgh side is much more beautiful because of the architecture. And when I went to Glasgow several times, and I've been there several times, it's more Americanized. I don't see anything that makes it seem European to me. In Edinburgh, I mean, it's all European structures. I mean, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. My favorite place in the whole wide world is Edinburgh, Scotland. That's my favorite city. I have it on the side of my bed, a picture of it. My coffee this morning is dark chocolate pistachio with pistachio creamer. I sound like cornbread and pokey. What? Oh, yeah. Okay. You retracted that. I was trying to read it. That's funny. Susan Norton, the Welsh joke. See, that's those two houses on the hill. Mine's the one in the middle. Yeah, so we're going to continue on those lives on Monday with Rebecca Michelot. I know Glasgow is rough. Glasgow is rough. It is. But I had a great Scottish breakfast there, right outside of your train station there. I love the lives. Thank you. Yeah. The thing with the lives, you never know what's coming down the pike. So, anyone drink Rise mushroom coffee? I haven't tried that mushroom coffee. I was drinking the matcha for a while there, and then I started craving coffee again. They think that you're too posh over in Glasgow. I know that they're roughware. I'm having a Heineken coffee. Listen, I work overnight. If I was somebody that wanted to have a drink when I came home, it would be the time. But I didn't work last night. Sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. There you go. My advice with the Rise coffee, drink it, don't smell it first. Huh? Oh, yeah, because mushrooms smell bad. Up here in town, grow mushrooms here too. Shilly Shally says you can grow mushrooms there. A lot of people are drinking the mushroom coffee. So, iced tea all day, French bread, butter, and I haven't eaten yet. Mom's silly channel. I'm Toddy One Skip, and you're not. So what else, guys? Texas is a bunk we can't do. I don't get that. Do you ever drink Starbucks? If you do, what's your favorite coffee? Yes, I do. And I'll tell you what it is because it's in my phone. It's in my phone because I always forget it. So let me see. Let's see. I think it's under this person's name because they're the one that told me about it. And then I put it in my phone. Yeah, strawberry frap with Java chips blended and whip. How's that? That's a cold beverage. So it's a strawberry frappuccino with Java chips, extra Java chips, blended with whipped cream. Yeah, and I always forget it, so I have to keep it on my phone. No, we can get that anytime here. It might not be on the menu, but they can get it. That's not even coffee, Toddy. The Java chips are. Guys, I stopped drinking coffee for a long time. I just started drinking coffee again. Somebody bought 2 shirts. Thank you for that. I don't know who bought 2 shirts, but that just came up. So, and we are going to put like mugs and stuff in there, trying to figure out how the artist can get into the site and do that stuff. So I don't have to. I live in New York too, so I never knew you can order outside of the menu. Well, this was something on the menu apparently at some point, but I don't see it on the menu anymore. And I still order it and people make it for me. Nobody said to me, "Hey, you're ordering outside the menu." And I say, "I'm Toddy One Skip. I can order whatever I want." I'm joking. April on oh, who was calling you insane last night? Fancy? I heard her say something that was ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how much credit or I don't know how much credibility she gets. Yes. Mine is mocha Java chip. There is coffee in that too, the Java chips. It's about 5 a.m. here. I was getting ready to go to work and I saw, getting ready to go to bed. Buffy Love. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know really what we're talking about. Talking basically about anything. Right now we're talking about coffee. My guys, they never go. And I don't, it's hard for me to take both of them. Yeah, I don't think I think that Fancy has lost a lot of shit, right? Mocha cookie crumble. I think I've had that before until she yelled in her car like a wild woman. Then I thought maybe I should step back. We're all entitled to bad days. If it was just one thing, that would be something, but it's not just one thing. And the video that we're putting out now is well, you don't have to Milk, Honey, and Mayhem because you know how to make coffee. The stuff that Fancy has a lot of people that does her bidding for her, whether she's right or wrong, and they're vicious. It doesn't have to be that vicious on here. There's a lot of room for people, but when Fancy claimed that we're all here because of her work, yeah, that's not okay with me because I don't want to be here on a footprint of her because she has no follow through. As far as I know, Gypsy didn't unalive her mom because fancy. Maybe that'll come up later. But so she doesn't own the case. She's done a horrible job with giving us information on the case, and I'm grateful that there's more than one content creator and that not everybody listens to the loudest or the most unhinged. She loves potato. People are making fun of your accent, but they're not. They love your accent. They love your accent. Who needs vicious when we have Gypsy? Oh, that's true. Oh, Apple Charlotte. Let me tell you something. When I was in the UK, I drank that Nescafe shit because you can't get good coffee. I mean, you can, but it's really, really strong in the UK. Your coffee is really strong, and then you ask for American coffee, and they just put it in a bigger cup. So when I was in the UK, I drank a lot of tea and that Nescafe coffee, that instant coffee. I don't know what fancy wants to be. And in the UK, when you get a beverage, they don't give you ice unless you ask for it. I used to drink Cuban coffee back in the day because I have two sister-in-laws from Cuba. I'm telling you guys, think I'm making a joke, but it's the truth. You ask for American coffee in the UK, they just put it in a bigger cup, same coffee, bigger cup, because that's the way they view us here, and you can't get mad at that. So bigger the better. That's not the way it is. Look, half of us are obese. It's not bigger the better. They don't have these big ass drinks in the UK like we do. They don't even look at the beverages they have in the UK. They don't use half of the shit that we use here. Supersize me. That's right. That's right. Supersize my ass. There you go. What else, guys? What else is going on? So I'm excited about me going to look at something to buy a new home for me and my kids. This next phase of the game here. Walking my dogs by the reservoir. You're not a tea person? Apple Charlotte, they should kick your ass out. Toddy, will you tell us what items people could buy from the commissary? Sure. You could buy anything from the commissary in jail and in prison. I mean, as far as anything that you could buy, the big thing is the ramen noodles, the soup, like the cup of soups, and they have tuna and mackerel in containers now. They're not cans. They would be packets. I don't know if I could eat a fish out of a fucking plastic container. I don't know, but I don't know. Boxers, t-shirts, sweats, coffee, but they're going to buy instant coffee that they have to heat up. A lot of times just by using the water that comes out of their spigot. They can pretty much, you could go online and look, there's commissary lists that tell you in what facility people can purchase and what their list looks like if you want to look it up online. So that's what it is. Who's starting to unravel? Do they have microwaves they can use? If they have microwaves, they would be in a common area, and they would be in general population per se, but in the common area, not in a cell block. They wouldn't be in a specific cell. They'd be in a cell block if they allow that. And not every cell block, but there's trustees. And trustees get more freedom, and where they would live, their cell block would have a lot more freedoms than even just general population cell block. So, yeah. They can't have a hot plate. Some pods. Yeah, the only reason why because I didn't really want one with a loft. I don't think that the area that I'm looking at is gonna show when I pull. First of all, I do know that if you open and close things and open and close things, of course you're gonna wear and tear on it. So I really didn't want something that had a slide out per se. So the only other option was the loft, because the bedroom would be in the loft, which would give, the downstairs all the room for the dogs. Because, they stay there more than me. They're here 24/7. I'm at work, so I love ramen. I still bring that shit to work with me. I have like a cup of soup a night before I even start my shift. It's the first thing that I usually do. Can they buy tablets or are they monitored like phones? From my understanding, they're given. I don't think you have to buy them. I think that they're given. I don't, we never had tablets when I worked in the facilities, never had them. Wade Wilson has no access to his tablet. They do monitor the tablets, and there's good luck, Vanessa Dodge. Wentworth in Australia. There's a better gel show. I'll tell you about it. But what was I saying? I was saying something about the gels. Oh, about the tablets and stuff. So yeah, they never. They don't really get online. They're very limited to what they are, and they're for more or less communications. I guess maybe if somebody were to go to school there and they were to get work, maybe they would have something that would allow that. So, cherry Coke, I like cherry Coke. I don't know what PHO is. So, no 5 hour. Absolutely no fucking 5 hour phone calls unless she's on a contraband phone. I said that. Now, if she was on a contraband cell phone, but still not 5 hours, because the deputies, the correctional officers, they have to get head counts all the time. So at some point, they're checking you out and making sure you're where you're supposed to be, because they have to count you. And they don't do a head count once a day. They do a head count at least every shift. And, I thought they did it. I want to say they did it every 20 minutes where I worked. Yeah, pho. I have had it. I have had that. I like the dumplings. Is that right? The dumplings? My son was in jail. Everyone can have a device, but you have to put money on to send and receive messages. Yes, the devices are free, right? Did anyone see Ryan's live with Amber J? I didn't, and I want to see it. I definitely want to see him. Gypsy's show is boring. Well, Patchouli Julie, it might be. If somebody doesn't have the money, then it's expensive for them. He's making phone calls. Those phone calls are expensive. They're buying books for him. That shit I don't understand. You got a grown man who, at the very least, violated. I mean, there's pictures. That's not up for debate. He violated that girl. He violated Maddie for years. And you're going to make sure he has something to fucking read in prison? Are you kidding me? Let him read the Bible. If anyone followed Murdoch, he has a tablet and he has been using it. You know who would know that is Jumpsuit Pablo, right? I think that there's Murdoch phone calls from prison. I think there's Murdoch phone calls. I think Jen Sodto should be thrown. I think she should be in jail right now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the shit. You know, listen. This is the shit that pisses me off. Of course, she should be incarcerated. Of course, she should be incarcerated. She let herself be available to let her daughter do that. And we know that because of what she said, that she didn't want the Woody Allen scenario. So how do you come up with that if you don't know what's going on inside that bedroom number 4? Huh? How do you do that? And I think that Maddie thought that she was in love with this guy. It's horrible. And let me tell you, I can't even, this woman has got to do a whole face reconstruction, Jen Sodto. I can't imagine her living any kind of life where the people that recognize her don't spit at her or punch her or say things about her or run her over in a fucking shopping cart or whatever. You know, she is. It's atrocious. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how disgusting it is. Amber J made it worth it. She's funny. She is such a funny person. I like her. And I like the way she talks. I know that she's making fun, but I really like Amber J. I like Ryan, except that I think he's a moron, and I really do think that Ryan shared things with Gypsy, private things, that doesn't make him appear in the best light. And I think the reason why he shared those things, listen, you know, when I was with Jen would say at times, you know, I don't understand why you're with me. You've never been in trouble. Da, 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 da. And I shared things with her and said, listen, just because I wasn't caught doesn't mean I didn't do anything wrong, you know? So Gypsy isn't the type of person you share that shit with. I think Ryan shared stuff with her the same way I shared with Jen to show, listen, just because you got caught, first of all, she did murder. Gypsy did murder. Let's understand. Jen had a drug problem. Two huge different things here. So if you're willing to set yourself up with somebody who did that, then that's what you got. And if you've got to make yourself look stupid or look like you've done things wrong, and probably have, we've all done things wrong, and shared with her things she wasn't the one to share things with, because now she's holding that over her head. I would believe 100%, and I do believe this honestly, that the baby's Ryan's, and that there's really nothing he could do about it because of the stuff that she has held over his head. That's what I think. He needs to run and look. He needs to realize that she was a huge mistake. You know, for him to realize she was a huge mistake, it doesn't make him look good. So he can say he has all the confidence in the world. I'm a pretty confident person, but there are days when my confidence isn't 100%. We all have days like that. So on days like that, you know, it hits him hard, I'm sure. But the problem with that is, you know, her using him doesn't make him look bad. Now, the behavior now, after you realize what happened, you've been used, abused, and discarded, to keep loving her and say you're still going to be there for her. Now, I would say you look a little stupid. That's my opinion. I've been there. I've held on long after I should have given up. We all have been there. But you see it now. You see who she is. Do you genuinely love this person? You love who she invented for you to love, Ryan. That person doesn't exist. And he saw that when she started talking to him the way Gypsy talks to people. I think that Nick is being fucked with. That's what I think. That's getting checked out too. But Nick is being fucked with. I don't think Nick's safe from anybody on the outside while he's inside. I didn't see anybody threatening the baby's life. Who threatened the baby's life? Nobody's ever threatened the baby's life. Nobody's threatened Gypsy's life. They supposedly did the official paternity test. The problem is you can't believe anything that anybody says. And do you believe it? Do you believe that baby is the age that she said that baby was? Or do you believe that baby was a month or two older? Because I think that baby was at least 4 weeks older. He does look stupid now. He would take her back. That's the thing. He would take her back. I believe he would take her back. If anything, everyone worries about the baby's life. That's it. People are worried about... Guys, we read what... Listen, I would like to think that it wasn't true what Gypsy was having put down in as far as sacrificing her child, right? In the book, like, I believe that they had the conversation. I believe that Gypsy had the conversation, but I believe it was for the sole purpose of making Nick look bad. That's what I believe. However, we've seen people do horrible things to their children. So, is anything possible? Anything is possible. The fact that she even had the imagination to put together a script to have Nick follow is enough of a red flag to say, wow, I'd keep an eye on the baby. If it wasn't Gypsy and you heard this from somebody else, what would your reaction be? Wow, keep an eye on that baby. So the fact that we're saying it about Gypsy isn't any different than if we heard it from anybody else. The problem is Gypsy said this shit live and now everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Half the people don't believe it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think that she is alone with the baby. I do think that she has supervised visits. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think she has supervised visits. She definitely doesn't have the connection that most parents have with their children because we see that. I'm not the only one that sees that. She doesn't know how to hold the baby. At this point, she should know how to hold the baby. She should be able to feel comfortable around this baby. And not only doesn't she feel comfortable around the baby doesn't feel comfortable around her. And the whole purpose is because she's awkward with the baby. Somebody just put awkward, right? So the baby knows when the baby's safe. The baby knows and can sense if they're in safe hands or not. The baby doesn't look to Gypsy for any kind of comfort. That's the first place a child looks. That's the first place a baby looks, is for comfort in their mother's eyes. This baby doesn't look in Gypsy's eyes. She looks everywhere but Gypsy. That tells me right then and there she doesn't spend enough time with the kid. If the kid can't look at her for comfort or look to her for comfort. Yeah, I don't think anybody has threatened her baby at all. I think that's a bunch of shit. And if somebody threatened her baby, you're damn right. The police should be there saying, let me see that threat. Absolutely. Absolutely. You think Gypsy's a PDF? She very well might be. I mean, she's definitely got some weird sexual issues. Exactly. The baby acts like a stranger. Exactly. Ken is more natural. You're right about that. Check your email. Just sent it. Who's that for? Me? Sure. Let me see. Somebody sent me something. Let's see what I got. Hang on. So I did get an email that says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I wish evil to all those who wish my daughter's death. Who wished her daughter's death? There isn't one person that wished that child die. I've never even heard somebody wish Gypsy died, to be honest with you. I've never heard anybody say that. They say they wish Gypsy would go back to prison. They say that. So, see, this is a narrative that she's starting so that mainstream media would follow it, buy into it without checking resources. Without checking resources. Everybody would realize if anybody checked on this claim that everybody has that baby's concern at the most. They're most concerned about the baby. Nobody wants to see harm on this child. So Gypsy is just full of shit, covering a dialogue that Bree, unfortunately, mindless minion, will start spreading. And in the meantime, let me see who wished your child death, because I would shame them. So she is just a piece of shit. She's horrible. Horrible, horrible person. What else, guys? What else is going on? Did anybody check out my friend Jamie's video on Sunday? I haven't checked it out yet. Does anybody know that Jamie has somebody from this community has started a YouTube channel that is very, very good. Hi, Ruth. That is very, very good. Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. Guys, you need to check it out. I can't do the dabs. You know why I can't do the dab, Patchouli Julie? Because I don't like the what is that shit that they put in there? Butane, not the butane. You know what I'm talking about. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I just like to smoke. No, not the terpenes. Not that. Nope. That's fine. There's oh God, what do they? It's like a gas that they put in there. It begins with an E, I'm pretty sure. Bree had to promote her channel 10 times last night. Thank goodness it was a drinking game. Did she really promote her channel? I think, listen, ask Dog today about it. I don't smoke indicas. I smoke sativa. Butane. No, the butane, I know what you're talking about, but there's ethane. That's it. Thank you. Mushkin Mama. Or ethanol. That's it. That's it. Yes. Yes. Okay, I understand that. Why indica is your favorite. I love the content that we put out too. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I love the content that we put out too. I don't grow my own. I go to a store. I quit smoking 4 years ago because it's too strong now. So give me a, yeah, well then don't. Then don't. So you guys are enjoying Monday morning talks with Rebecca Michelot, Renelle from Renelle's World. Does anybody, I mean, you guys know Renelle, right? She's just amazing. Awesome. She was nice enough to put something together for Rebecca Michelot and put it in the mail so that Rebecca could start recording and stuff and start her channel. So very excited about that. I know that she has a lot to offer, Rebecca. Well, Maggie, you can have an edible. You can have an edible. Yeah, apple, that's what it is. It's ethanol. And I used to have the dab. I think I finally threw that thing away. Cool. Yep. Yeah, Rebecca is very good. And Renelle is very, very good. I know it's illegal in your country. It's terrible. But in the meantime, you know what's weird is in your country, Apple Charlotte, I think you could buy codeine over the counter. I love Renelle. Renelle's World. Renelle Smith. Will edibles give me the spins? Take 2 milligrams at a time. Don't take the whole thing. I told the story yesterday about giving my mom an edible. Well, she bugged the hell out of me. I gave her an edible. I got my card here in West Virginia. Renew it yearly. There you go. In Japan, you could buy cocaine eye drops. Cocaine eye drops. Cocaine eye drops. So it would be to numb your eyes, right? I mean, that cocaine, it numbs things. Renelle is an amazing person. An amazing person. I don't know. I'm waiting to get that. Eye pain is horrid. Okay. So I can understand. I guess that makes sense. LSD eye drops, like a no, not like that. Eat an edible and go to an all-you-can buffet. Don't drive there. Does anybody go to the all-you-can-eat buffets, the Chinese buffets? Because there's one right down the street. I love it. I always go there. I get 2 massive containers and I fill it up. I eat it for 4 days. I bring it to work with me and everything. I can't. LSD. No. Patchouli, Julie. No. I get stoned and lift weights. You know what I used to like to do? Get stoned and jump in a pool. Jump in a cold pool. That would be something. You can apply for medicinal cannabis here, but it's $150 a month. The cannabis or the paper that allows you to have it? I have tried LSD. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I have tried it. The eyes are part of the brain. Okay. You get stoned and dance around your house like a fool. Good times. There you go. Milk, honey, and mayhem. Yep. Okay. Now this has all become a drug-infused live stream. I'm not too sure that that's where I was going with this. I'm not too sure that that's where I was going with this, guys. I was talking more about where the channel's going. Guys, if I don't talk about Gypsy Ahoy, who do you want me talking about? Misbehaving, what part of Florida are you from? Now, everybody's saying they caught a contact. Sobriety on Monday, Twisted Tuesday. Yeah, right? It's a stressy world out here. It is. I had a joint with hash in it. It was great. Toddy, I love you. Hash makes me too tired. Maddie Sodto, I'm still so sad about that. We are going to cover Maddie Sodto. We are going to cover Maddie. For sure. For sure. I'm not going to talk anymore about Trixie Lane. I don't have anything against Trixie Lane. As a matter of fact, I spoke with her this morning. She's somebody that I have befriended, and she hasn't done anything to me. Or, I got a lot of information from her, and that needs to be recognized because it's true. I don't know. Here's what I'll say. anything I tell you about me is true. I tell you I worked in the jails. I worked in the jails. I tell you that I came up with these coloring books. I came up with the color. But I can prove everything. I can prove everything. Anything I write down about my credentials is something you guys should be able to count on. That should be no questions asked. Who I tell you I am. And when I sit there and tell you, I'm not Toddy One Skip, you're not Toddy One Skip, you know, I mean, come on. But when I tell you who my credentials, that's something you should be able to bank on. If that wasn't true, that's a problem for anybody, not just Trixie Lane. That would be a problem for anybody. If that happened, that was wrong. If she used the identity of other people. So I've gotten from a few of you the picture of the baby that was supposed to be her son or the singer's son is from a commercial. It's a commercial about a talking cactus. So, but if somebody pretended to be somebody else and used somebody's identity, that's not okay. That's not okay. I don't know what's true, excuse me, or what's not true. I don't know. 1980, how you doing? 1980s in the house. And let me just tell you, 1980, I don't know that she's really a millennial. Did anybody see the video? The spoof video of Septum Gate where the thing comes out of her mouth? So 1980 says that she doesn't think that anything that Trixie said is true. And, 1980 is from that area. I would think she has more information than I do. Yeah, it was a talking cactus commercial. Somebody sent me, more than one person. I got like 5 of those videos of the talking cactus and the child. Let's see. Pepperidge Farms remembers. That's a weird name, Pepperidge Farms. I believe everything you say, Toddy, everything. I'm a bit confused about what went on with Trixie, but that's okay. So the Trixie thing doesn't have anything to do with me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Again, I know that I got information from her, which was 100% spot on. Lori Vallow's opening statement, this evidence will show. Lori Vallow, that's a case, isn't it? What does she have to lose? At this point, I would be my own lawyer too. I get out of the cell block. I can have special privileges because I'm my own lawyer. What does she have to lose? Everybody will see me on camera. I'm serious. This woman has nothing to lose. She already has life sentences. So the fact that people are paying, I mean, like our government, listen, that's a whole thing. I believe that the trials that she's going for now, those people do deserve justice. I do. I believe that. But to have a whole trial again on somebody who's already going to be doing life, like, why are we spending that money? Can't we do something that would honor those victims? Like, I don't know, maybe pay for the headstone, maybe something, instead of going through a whole other trial again. I mean, we can't give her any more life sentences, right? And now she's got all this attention and all this special treatment. I think that's terrible. What do you guys think about that? I don't think they're bringing up the kids because she's already found guilty of unaliving her children. I know. I'm going to be doing some reactions. I've already done some reactions to Stefon Stern's calls, and I'll be doing more reactions to Stefon Stern's calls. The audacity and the fact that his parents keep giving him shit. His root beer barrels. Why does he need root beer barrels? The guy, at the very least, violated a child for years. There's proof of that. That's not even debatable. Why are you rewarding him with fucking root beer barrels? He is not going to starve in prison. They won't let him starve in jail or prison. I promise they won't. He'll be able to have soap to clean himself, shampoo to wash his hair. He'll have all of these essentials. It's called welfare in prison when you don't have money. The only thing you don't get to get is the extra goodies that he likes. So why reward him? Take that money and give it to, I don't know, some sort of organization. I certainly wouldn't give it to the Sodto family because they failed her, including the dad. You don't wait till your kid's a certain age to grow a relationship with them because it might be harder to build a relationship with a baby. You're part of their life the whole time, not when it's convenient, not when they can hold up their head and wipe their own ass. That's not when you become a dad. So that's all bullshit. And I like AG Tactical. AG Tactical and I were very friendly when I first started. And it's not that we're not friendly or anything. It's just that he's not done anything with the Gypsy Rose case, and I keep with my nose in the Gypsy Rose case. But I watch his stuff. I like AG a lot. I like AG. I congratulated him when he had 40,000 subscribers. I think he's going on 60 now, right? So what else? What else? Grizzly is great. I love Grizzly True Crime. I love Plunder. Did you see the case where a young guy killed parents and lived with corpse? No. No. I've not seen that. Hang on, guys. I gotta turn on a fan because I'm getting hot. Maple nut goodies was the best candy. We're talking about candy? I don't know who we're talking about now. Can we talk about Jen Sodto? Yeah, she should be in prison. She should be in jail. I don't know why she's out on the streets. I haven't heard anything new about this, about the 20-year-old hostage situation where, well, he's 32. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting case. She's trying to get away from that. She's trying to act like, they've seen the room. They've seen the guy. How do you justify that? I don't understand. I guess that's going to go to trial. More money. Well, you don't say that you like root beer barrels now, Jamie, because it's one of Stefon Stern's favorites, root beer barrels. You always hear him sucking on it on the phone. They're hard candy. They're shaped like barrels. They're hard candy. Taste like root beer. There you go. I think Jen is in a psych hospital. I think she's somewhere. But supposedly she got immunity on a few things, so I don't know. He is not safe. He will not be safe in prison. No, he will not be safe in prison. Yeah, when he talks about snuggling her, like his parent, what did he say? He made a comment that said that when he gets to heaven, first of all, he's trying to get his family, he's trying to get his parents to leave him a little bit of money for when they pass on. He'll be able to still make it in prison. I'm really hoping that when the trial comes up and they hear the things that their son did, that it will click with them and that they can go ahead and take every dime that they make from then onward to spend on themselves, buy themselves a cruise, just go out for most fancy, expensive meals, buy yourself that car that you always want. Don't give to your son. He doesn't deserve it. You're rewarding him. You're rewarding a grown man who violated a child. She was fucking 9 years old when he started violating her. And you're going to reward him with root beer barrels? Seriously? Come on. Yes, he thinks Maddie is waiting, and when he gets up there, she's going to say, "What took you so long, Smelly?" That's what he's thinking. You know. I don't think she wanted sex with. I think that Jen, she said that her medication made her, not want sex. I can't believe that somebody would say, well, maybe Maddie will help you out there. I don't know how that happened. But Jen definitely knew about it because she made that Woody Allen reference. And where does that come from? Come on, in your wildest dreams, why would that pop out of your head? The thing that I'm most afraid of is not you violating my kid, but me being left like Woody Allen left Mia Farrow. That's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Woody Allen says it exactly. I watched you a few times with Scientology. Yes. My channel, Glenda, is topical. It's basically about a lot of stuff. I still do some of the Scientology. That's where I basically started the channel. But I have an interest in a lot of things, so I try to cover other things. Says they were both oogling him. Yeah. I really think that, and now mind you, this is not okay. So this is not okay with me. I honestly think that Maddie thought she was in love with him. And I think he loved her. It's not right. That's not okay. It's never going to be okay. The reason why I say this is because when she asked for that coin, that parents' coin, if they have a baby, you flip the coin, who does what chore? That's something that you say to a partner when you're having a child, something, like a game that you would, not to somebody that you would feel that violated you. So I think that she was totally groomed, and somewhere in her mind, she thought that this was love. No, wait a minute. I did hear of the Humiston family. I have heard of them. I did hear of them. Did you hear they made some dire wolves? We're talking about wolves. Exactly, Maggie May. She knew, moms are supposed to protect their children, Sunshine. You got that right. And mom didn't. Mom let Maddie do what she didn't want to do, apparently. And she didn't protect. Jen didn't protect Maddie. Her mom certainly did not protect her. And then found excuses, and then even lied. And then even lied about it. So the fact that here, I don't think They have all those photos, right? All of those images of him with Maddie. Why do they need Jen? Why do they need Jen to help them with this case? That's the thing that bothers me. Why is Jen going to be able to walk away from this scot-free? They don't need her. So why? That's the shit that pisses me off. I know, Apple. You got it. I think you got it better there. I don't know. I don't know. It's easy for me to say you got it better there because I don't live there. I live here, and you see we're going through a bunch of shit. But I don't understand. They don't. First, they have photos, they have images, they have videos of him violating Maddie. Thousands of images. That's enough to put him in jail for fucking life. So I guess they need her to pin the murder on him. In the meantime, he's saying that, I don't know. Sorry, Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. Sorry about that. It's very, very aggravating. Very, very aggravating. Scariest thing, controversy over consent, not giving it. Search is flown. It is disgusting. I totally agree. Just like Gypsy, they want to normalize. Yeah. I'm not too sure what it is, but what do you guys think of the dad? What do you think of the dad? Don't you think that the dad failed? Absolutely, Shorty Pie. I think that the dad, he abandoned her. Exactly. He could have stayed in her life. He could have been, he was waiting for, he said, and these are the dad's words, I was waiting patiently for my time. The fuck is that? You're a dad. That started the minute that you knew you were going to be a dad. Not even when the baby came out. The minute you knew you were going to be a dad was when you become a dad. That's when you start planning. So the fact that the dad couldn't participate in her life, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. He didn't want to be bothered, it seemed. He didn't want to be bothered with somebody who couldn't take care of themselves. He was waiting for his daughter to be able to care for herself before he would, take her, be responsible for her? That's not when dads appear. Grizzly, True Crime, and Plunder. Plunder as well. I get a lot of stuff from Plunder. And she's gotten a lot of the FOIAs. So does Grizzly, True Crime. They're both great. They're both great. I love Plunder. She's always been on the ball. Yeah, and I love that she has a Christian approach to things. And what about Wade Wilson? We were talking about Wade Wilson once upon a time ago. What are you guys thinking about Wade Wilson? Anybody? So Wade Wilson, those that don't know, the Deadpool, well, I don't, is old, Aaron, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. If you could put it out here phonetically, I will call you it. Otherwise, I'm going to call you Aaron. But I'd like to call you what you want to be called. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Leland Squirrels, how you doing? Leland has a channel, guys. Leland Squirrels has a true crime channel. Okay, I'll call you Aaron then. That's cool, because I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. So yeah, so what about yeah, absolutely, Plunder's great. Well, Leland says she sort of has a channel. She does. You can go to it. She's got some stuff on there. He's a numpty. Wade Wilson is the guy that has the tattoos on his face. So let's talk about that. That's funny. I'm going to tell you why this is funny. When he went into prison, he didn't have any tattoos. When he went into jail, he didn't have any tattoos. Absolutely. Jumpsuit Pablo is great. So is JD DeLay. So is Lockup 23-1. Yeah. These are all ex-inmates that are out here talking about stuff, and they still have friends that they're connected to inside. So they can get some information as well. So Leland Squirrels, check out her channel because she's got a little bit of everything. So check her out, please, guys. Melissa Jade, yes, she's a great channel. She's got all the pictures. But here's the thing. When he got incarcerated, his tattoos came up to here. And, you know, they don't allow tattoo guns in jail, right? You guys know that, right? You're not even allowed to really power anything in a jail cell. Like, they check on him one day, he's got a tattoo right there. Where'd that come from? They spin his cell. And when they spin the cells, that means that they go through everything. They take everything out of the cell. They chuck it on the floor. Everybody else is locked down. And you got to kind of like stand there. You can't touch your stuff. You watch your stuff get trashed. And they try to find whatever it was that you used for your fucking tattoo. You know, whatever it was you used for it. Shakedown, yep. But they called it spin the cells. So, anyway, whatever it is they find, they don't find. And then, you know, the next day he's got another tattoo. Every tattoo on this guy's face he's gotten inside of the jail cells. So when you guys say to me, hey, how can they do this or how can they do that? Look at Wade Wilson. How could he do that? How could he be in a little box and put tattoos on his face when you're not allowed to have anything like that? So with a tattoo could be as simple as the inside of a pen, a staple, and if you have one of those little radios, you know, like a Walkman or whatever they're called now, the battery on that could be used as the device that goes like this and taps into the face, and then you're just using ink. So, but this stuff, you're not allowed to have it. So how is he making tattoos, putting tattoos on his face when he's incarcerated? So when you guys say, well, how is this possible? How is that possible? How is Wade Wilson's face possible? Because in a perfect world, none of that stuff should be in his cell. Yet his stuff has been in that cell several times, as well as we know there's been drugs in there. There's been sexual things in there. I mean, he put his junk in a cellmate's mouth. You guys know that, right? When a guy was asleep, they woke up to find Wade inside of his mouth. Can you imagine? This sick guy, now he's all by himself. He isn't even allowed to use the phone right now. So what were you saying, Leland, about Gypsy's, which tattoo? She's got a tattoo that matches her stepmom on one arm, and then she's got the tattoo that matches with Ken on the other arm, right? Even if he wasn't over, I mean, the fact that he was good looking and people saw that as a pass, we're talking about Wade Wilson now. People saw that as a pass because he was good looking, ready to just forget that he unalived 2 women because he was good looking. How desperate do you have to be? if you look, Christy has the same tattoo. They look like the same tattoo. And I think they've even made reference to that tattoo. I'm serious, Leland. I'm serious. Right. The back tattoo is questionable. That's what people are saying. That the back, thank you, Cherokee girl. You always do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The large back tattoo is the tattoo that is the one that's questionable about I guess, the puncture wounds that were on Dee Dee. I don't know about the 13 dots. I don't know about the 13 dots, but I do know that if you look at Christy, she does have the same tattoo. Whether there's difference between them or not, I don't know, but it looks like the same tattoo. What do you think happened that night? Do you think that Dee Dee was... You think Dee Dee was... We know she was ill. She couldn't have felt great. Especially, I mean, let's be honest. Do you think that Gypsy was really trying to take care of her mom? I mean, so in order for her mom to eat, do you think that Gypsy was bringing her food? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm asking you. No, right? So here's a woman who, when they did the autopsy, they know. Right. So she didn't take care of her mom. No, I'm not. Wait, 1980. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, how did it get that far? Like, some people have said, and this has always kind of been in the back of my mind, it doesn't make any of this right or wrong. But there are people that said that maybe Dee Dee wasn't well, and Dee Dee might have asked Gypsy to put her out of her misery. This is not the way that you put somebody out of their misery. Of course not. But do you think any of that is true? That Dee Dee was so unwell that she was planning something? Because what if she was unwell and she knew she was unwell? What was going to be Gypsy's future after Dee Dee was to pass? What was the plan? You don't think they planned for that? They planned for everything. They planned for that too, no doubt. What do you think that plan was? I'm asking you guys, seriously. What inheritance? Right. I can't imagine her wanting to leave her behind either. So that's what I'm saying. What do you think? Yeah, exactly, Apple Charlotte. And then we come to find out that she had a lot of things wrong with her. Like, a lot of things wrong with her. She even had cancer, right? Wasn't cancer discovered in Dee Dee? So how was she supposed to be taken care of? Yeah, but that's fine. She was taking that anyway. 1980. She was taking that, but she wasn't going to live off of that forever. She wasn't going to live off of, even if there was $100,000, she can't live off of that forever. So what was the plan that Dee Dee had for Gypsy when everybody thought she couldn't walk? What do you think the plan was? What do you think they actually had in mind? Oh, I'm looking for comments. If Dee Dee was dying, she would have had a plan. So exactly, what do you think the plan was? So Dee Dee was always going to die before Gypsy. This is what I'm saying, 1980. Oh, I think Dee Dee was, and she was sick. And she was sick. She couldn't, I mean, clearly she was obese. She was getting older. She had gout. It said that she was sick in the autopsy, so she wasn't going to get better. Gypsy was not going to say, hey, Mom, lay in bed. I'll take care of you. So not only was this woman ill, but she actually had to probably take care of herself and Gypsy. So at some point in Dee Dee's mind, she had to come to the realization of, if I go before my daughter, what kind of life is she going to have? What should we plan? They planned everything. So why wouldn't they plan afterwards? They would have had to have planned that. And I'm asking, what do you think that was? I wasn't even sick, but I had a plan notarized just in case. Yeah, she's somebody that, according to the real world, somebody that was unable to walk. How was this supposed to end? She was still picking Gypsy up and wheeling her around in a wheelchair. So Dee Dee could definitely get around. I think Dee Dee was too mentally ill to plan beyond that. Okay. She could barely walk her in that wheelchair. I think that there was some sort of plan there. There was something. I don't know, but Rod and Christy sure went through that house pretty fast. That's true. Grateful Graham, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute. They subbed to you, Apple. They subbed to you, Jamie. So that's good. Somebody says that she killed her mom to hide the truth. So you think her mom was going to... So you think that her mom... What? I mean, how was this supposed to end? That's what I'm asking. How was this supposed to end? She was losing the fact that she was a kid. She wasn't able to say she was a kid anymore. They weren't able to say that she was a child anymore. Oh, I'm sorry that happened, Grateful Graham. That really sucks. So she wasn't able to say that. How was it supposed to end? They weren't going to get any more help on the children's end because they couldn't make Gypsy younger. You don't think she had a plan, Shorty Pie? I think there was a plan. I'm not too sure how it was supposed to end. But I do think that there was a plan. That's why, I think that my theory about the home invasion, the botched home invasion, my theory, that's why I think that it makes sense. Or at least something like that. Because if Gypsy was going to be gone, they would only be looking for Gypsy for a very short amount of time. But they were losing things 1980. They were going to lose things. They couldn't make her any younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't make her any younger. So she was going to lose things from the children's end of stuff. She was going to lose the benefits of the children, of being a child. I think Gypsy was getting completely out of control. That's what I think. Gypsy was getting completely out of control. But I do think that there was some sort of plan here. Because all she did was worry about Gypsy. Why wouldn't she worry? People worry about their kids all the time. What happens if I should pass on? Who's going to take care of my kid? But when you know that you're not leaving your kid with anybody, nobody, not even a friend, because everything about the life is untrue. It's a lie. So how do you justify it? Yeah, I'm not talking about not talking about Gypsy's plan. I'm talking about Dee Dee's and Gypsy's plan for their life long term after Gypsy can no longer be considered a child and no longer get the benefits of a child. You know? So I think that, I don't know. I feel like just let's play through the botched home invasion. Let's just say it's not botched. Let's just say that my theory is that Nick went to the house and that Nick wasn't supposed to leave the house, that Nick was supposed to be collateral damage. He was supposed to lay there and come out of the house the same way Dee Dee. It was supposed to look like a botched home invasion. Okay. And in the meantime, they can't find Gypsy in the house. They find Dee Dee, who's deceased, and they find Nick, who's deceased. How long do you think they're going to be looking for Gypsy for when they say, oh, all of the drugs supposedly that this person who is sick, so sick, because remember, Gypsy had everything. How long do you think they're going to be looking for her? And are they going to be looking for somebody in a wig walking around? Nope, they're going to be looking for Gypsy in a wheelchair. Right? A shaved-haired person in a wheelchair. That person doesn't exist because Gypsy can walk, right? So, but they don't know that. And they also think that Gypsy needs all this medication. How long do you think that they're going to be looking for Gypsy for before they determine, well, without medication, without her wheelchair, without care, Gypsy Rose Blanchard at this point has probably deceased, right? Somebody sent me a Cash App. Thank you for that. So seriously, you know what I'm saying? So they stop looking for Gypsy, and Gypsy walks away scot-free. She can walk and everything. She's got a bunch of IDs on her. She could be anybody in the world. And the story ends there. And they think it was two people in the home invasion. And somebody got away with it, but they got one guy, and he's dead with the mother. That's what I think was supposed to happen. Because otherwise, tell me how Gypsy's life was going to be any different. She would have had to stay in that wheelchair forever if people believed her story. Like, there was no freedom in just unaliving Dee Dee and Gypsy living like that, because she would have lived in a wheelchair where she needed people to get things for her. Why would she have stayed like that? She wouldn't have stayed like that. I don't believe she would have stayed like that. Not in that house, not under the scrutiny of the way you're supposed to live your life. Not in a million years. I don't believe that. I think that she was supposed to take off and go live this amazing life. And somebody said, yeah, this isn't something I want to do anymore. If Nick, okay, Jesse, if Nick, true, she could go back to the home, but she's still going back as somebody in a wheelchair. She's still going back, and she is still under what she said that her mom made her do. Because what is she supposed to say? I can walk now. She never wanted people to know she could walk. Why couldn't she do that before? She could have done that before. Look, my mom's a scam. I could walk this whole time. I was a prisoner to her. Take her away. Why couldn't she have done that? Why the whole unaliving? You see what I'm saying? I know she wanted to meet with Dan after the crime. There was no freedom in going back. Exactly. She had to keep going forward, and people would stop looking for her because they would think she's already gone because of the medication that she wasn't able to take. Because that was the story everybody knew. And if that would have ended there, that would be all the story we would know. And she would have just been a missing person that we assumed died because they didn't get medication. Because they couldn't live without it, because everybody thought that she was sick with this, that, and everything else. So yeah, but she had to go somewhere. She was going to go somewhere. She wasn't going to stay in that house. You know what I'm saying? How long her grandma held on to life and sickness, and she didn't want to do that with her mom. She's a lazy person with no empathy. Well, Jesse, I agree with that 1,000,000%. She just thought she could wing it. I'm not buying that. I bet she mentioned getting with Dan just to make Nick hurry up and get over here. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Hey, people that are just joining us. Yeah. So, guys, is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about or anything? Because I'm getting ready to, I want to take care of my puppies. The sun's out. It's not going to stay out all day. Cherokee girl, thank you as always. Thank you. Talk time with Jay Beautiful got that. So, yeah, but eventually she could have used, it's a miracle I can walk. Do you think Gypsy has the patience for that? If she had the patience for that, again, she could have done this to her mom the whole time. She could have had her mom put in an insane asylum the whole time. Thank you, 1980. As always, it's great to have you. Another great content creator, guys. 1980 Millennial Commentates. Guys, those of you that don't know, I'm sure that all of you know, but if you don't know who she is, please check her out. Awesome community over there. Awesome content. Just amazing. Good. I'm glad you guys check her out. Exactly, Erin. They didn't even have to have her go out that way. They could have had her with insulin. That's why I'm saying, why did it have to be so brutal? Why did it have to be that kind of attack? Why did there have to be an attack? Why did any of this have to happen? There is some sort of something in this. She is evil. She is evil. I don't think it would have been the "you're healed" thing. I really don't think that there. Why would she? Let me ask you this: Why? What was her connection to Missouri? Why? Why would she go back to Missouri? What's her connection to Missouri? I want to know. I will give Danny and Milo hugs and kisses. Apple Charlotte, I love you, and I love your accent. I'm still, guys. I really am looking. Dan. Her connection. Dan was in Arkansas. Didn't Dan have he had a place in Arkansas? He was staying at a friend's house in Missouri. That wasn't even his house. Lifetime needs to stop giving her a platform. Yes, but that's what I'm saying is Dan lives in a gray house behind the house. She got treated like a princess in Missouri and never wanted to leave. Who was going to continue to treat her like a princess? She would have had to have done so much work on her own. Who was going to take care of her? She didn't want to stay in the wheelchair. She walked around the house. How? That makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Because Damona is evil. I understand that Damona is evil. What are you laughing about? Why am I laughing? Because I'm laughing. Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. You too. I'm going to watch your video later. I'm getting ready to skedaddle too, guys, but I just thought I'd get on here. And when would she have had the time to travel while on parole? Yeah, she wouldn't have been on parole. Like, she would have gotten away with it, is what I'm saying. She wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you're not talking to me. Anyway, that's the way I think. I do think that. I still think that it was a botched. That it was supposed to look like something, and that Nick wasn't supposed to get out of that house. That's what I think. There was no, she wasn't leaving with him. She wasn't getting on the bus with him. There was no ticket for her. I just don't think so. So I'm not saying that Dan did anything. I'm saying that she did it. I think she did it. I think Nick did 4 jobs. I think she did it. Gypsy did it. I think Gypsy's the devil. She said, what are you saying? Aurora was born in the same hospital she was born? Why would that not be possible? She was born in Louisiana, Gypsy. The baby was born in Louisiana. I don't know why it wouldn't be the same hospital. I have nieces and nephews born in the same hospital I was born in. And there's still people born in that hospital. Only 1 bus ticket was purchased. That's right. We're only going to know when Nick tells us his side of the story, which might not even be everything, because Gypsy might not have told him the truth. I believe him too, Aaron. I believe him too. Misbehaving. What part of Florida did you say? Did you say before or no? I'm getting ready to get out of here. She was supposed to. No. Yeah, I believe that Nick was Plan B. He was Plan B, unfortunately. All right, guys. I'm from Louisiana and lived through Katrina for this New Orleans flood, and not the entire state. Right. All right, guys. Thank you. No, Gypsy wasn't born in Missouri. She lived there the second part of her life, but she was from Louisiana, and they moved there during Hurricane Katrina. That's how they got out of there. They got one of those medvacs out of there, the helicopters. West Palm Beach. I think we have spoken about that, right? I'm from Broward County. So, airlifted, right. She moved at 14 years old. Is that the real 14 or not? There we go. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much again. Thank you. Somebody sent me a Cash App. Cherokee Girl, thank you so much for the subscriptions. Always so kind of you. And guys, thank you so much for your support. And I thank you guys so much for everything. I'm reading the comments. All right, guys. So, let's say it all together. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Try to be kind, guys, but don't let somebody walk all over you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys immensely. Thank you. Be good.